Hey guys, welcome to today's module. We're in module 2, getting comfortable with the operating systems. We talked about what the computer is in module 1. We did an introduction into the modules, an overview of the things we're going to talk about in the course of the modules. So module 2 will be getting comfortable with an operating system. So we basically talked about what a computer is, what makes up a computer, the hardware, the software, the operating system that acts as the mind of the computer, how it um, takes information from the hardware to the software and presents an output. So it basically tells the computer what to do, right? So today we'll go a little bit more practical on the operating system, and we would look at the desktop. So on the screen, I'm sharing. I have more than one monitor for projection, so I'm sharing another monitor to actually project some things. I just want to practicalize some things. I believe you have your computer, you have your desktop, you have your laptop. If you have those, you can also um, try to practice because practice makes perfect. You want to be a computer guru, you have to start somewhere. And that somewhere is not just reading or listening, it's practicalizing. So you have to sit in front of a computer and also practice these steps. So the more you practice, the more you get used to it. That's basically what computer is. The more you practice, the better you get, and the more you get used to the steps on how to get to a certain destination. When you are used to those steps, you start deriving shortcuts. What are the shorter cuts to get to this place? So it makes your work efficiency rates increase. So we will talk about the operating system. So what's before we go into the operating system, um, or what it entails, we'll just start from you turning on your computer. You have a security system in your computer that only allows you to gain access into your computer, or you do not have any security in place. It means anybody that turns on your computer has access into your computer. So if you have a security in place, it's going to request that you log in or you sign in. You put in a password, whatever measure you have put in place, it's going to request that you authenticate that measure. So if it's asking for a password, you have a password you've set for it. It means you have to enter that password. So once you log in, it's going to take you to the desktop. So if you're looking at my screen right now, you see that is the desktop. So you see the page. So I'm projecting with a Windows machine. So this is a Windows operating system. For those that use the Mac or the Ubuntu, the Linux, you're going to have a different projection. I'm using the Windows. So this is a Windows home page. You see the symbol for the Windows. It depends on the version that is currently in your computer. You may have a different projection. So you can see some things in my home page. So this home page is the desktop. So what can you see? What can you identify? If you look at the top left corner, you see a bin and it's labeled recycle bin. What's a recycle bin? You live at home, like you live in the Western world, you are used to the recycles. So you have a special bin where you collect your recycles. You don't just get your receptacles, maybe your plastic bottles, and you just throw them in your garbage. You have a special bin where you keep them for recycles. So it means it has to go through the proper channel where they recycle those things. It can be used. Same thing applies to the computer. So when you temporarily delete an item, a file, a folder, it is going to be in this recycle bin. So it means as long as this computer is still on, it is not shut down. That item is still, you are still able to recover that item. So it means it can be recycled, though deleted from a certain page, but it is still somewhere that you can access it. That is why it is recyclable. You can recycle it back, you can recover it. But in the event that you shut down your computer, it means you have closed every active application at that point. So whatever that is not saved. So by the time you turn on your computer again, it means you are restarting a new session. So whatever that is not saved is lost. So if you also look at it, if you look down in my desktop, you're going to see some icons. You see for the notification icon, it looks like a message box with the numbers of notifications. So if you have notifications, you will see the count there. So according to this display, so the first display below shows one notification. If you see the second display, it shows two notifications. It means the numbers of notification that you have. So when you see that, it means you click on it, it pops up a window that you see what kind of notification that you have. If you see next to it, you see the date and time icon. So this one tells you the date. You can click on these. You can select the time zone. You can automate your time zone. So you can do a lot of things. The purpose of this is actually to bring us one step further into what the computer world is, what it looks like. So like I said, my target, it's not the experts in the computer world. My audience is the newbies. You're curious about how a computer works. You are given a computer, you don't know what to do with the computer. You want to learn what you can do with a computer. We started from data analytics, business analytics, data science, but before you start to jump into those sophisticated things, you have to understand the basic knowledge of what a computer is. So if you look further, you see what looks like a file. So that's a file explorer where folders, you can open folders, you can save, you can rename files, you can save and rename folders, you can store information. If you look at the next icon, you see an E, that's a web browser, the Internet Explorer. So if you double click on that, or you click on it once, it's going to pop up the web browser. There you can surf the internet. You can log into different websites as long as you are using that particular web browser, and so on and so forth. If you look further to my left, you see the Microsoft icon. So if you click on that, a lot of things is going to pop up. So if you look at the image on my right, it has been clicked. You see it. There's a gray box that is currently casting a shadow on it. So if you see it, there are applications that pop up. So when you click on that particular Microsoft Home button, you see the first button on top of it is the power button. So if you want to turn this machine off right now, if you click on this, it's going to give you options to either put the computer to sleep or to shut down or to restart it. You see the next icon, it's the settings. So you want to go and set up, configure your computer according to how you want it. You go to the settings and you do all of that things. Then if you look further on top of it, you see the gray circle with an image. So that is your profile, your account. So that shows that you are logged in. So if you want to switch user, you want to change a user, or you want to set up another account, for instance, you do not want somebody to work on your account, you can set up another account. So if any other person wants to use your computer, the person can use the other account without having to come in contact with your work. Then there are applications you can actually use. Let's say you want to open a Microsoft Word, you can see the Microsoft Word, you can access a lot of things from that home page. So it is more like a start menu. So once you click it, so the things you can do, when you go to a restaurant, you ask for a menu. The menu gives you access as to what is applicable in that particular restaurant, what kind of food they have, the different varieties. The same thing happens with the computer. So when you click the start menu, you see what applications that is available for you, the things you can do with the computer. You are going to see a lot of those things. So let me quickly just demonstrate that. So we see the taskbar, which is this bar on the second image. You see the bar below that has all these different icons. That's the taskbar. You see the desktop, which is this page that you come in contact with once you log into your computer. Then the start menu is this particular first icon in the taskbar by the left. When you click on it, you have the options to shut down your computer, to go to settings, to switch user, to go to different applications. So let us quickly see what we can do with the task, with what we have just seen. So let me switch to, okay, I will just go ahead. Then after I go through these things, then we can quickly just practicalize some of these things. So my next slide will be talking about how to rename, how to create a file, how to move a file from one destination to another, how to create a folder. So let's say we were looking at our desktop right now. I'm just going to minimize this. So we have our desktop. So we have this desktop right now. You can see the taskbar. This is the taskbar. You can see different applications that are pinned to the taskbar, as well as the PowerPoint that I am also sharing. It is pinned to the taskbar, so I do not have to go to search for it. I can just come here, click on it, and it displays. So we will now see also, so this is the start menu. If I click on it, a lot of things are going to pop up. You see, this is the power button. If I click on it, it gives me the option to lock this computer. Let's say I want to quickly step out and I do not want anybody to tamper with what I'm doing. I can lock the computer. I can put the computer to sleep. We talked about putting the computer to sleep in module 1. What are the benefits? Then I can shut down the computer. Say I want to totally turn off the computer. If there are no saved work, those information will be lost because I'm turning off the computer. Then I can restart the computer. Let's say I just did an update. I want that update to be applicable in the operating system. So I have to restart the computer for those updates to actually work. So that is what the power key does. This is the account. If I want to switch my account, I can switch my account from here. Then there are actually some applications that based on what I use frequently. So in my computer, I use Adobe frequently. That is why it is recommending these applications for me. Say, okay, do you want to go to these things? Because the algorithm from my computer, from the analytics, knows that I use this application more often. So it is going to suggest to me, do I want to go to this place instead of having to go through a long process to access these particular programs? It's going to recommend it. But because I do not want to go to those either of those programs or applications, I will skip it. I will not go into those things. So we have so many applications, programs that we can access from the start menu. So we know what the taskbar is, we know what the start menu is, then we know what the desktop is. So let us see how we can create a file. So you can create a file in so many ways, but let us go through the basic methodology. So this is the File Explorer. So the File Explorer, actually, there are shortcuts. I'm not going to be talking about shortcuts right now because I want you to know the stuff before you start thinking of shortcuts. Because sometimes some shortcuts become very long when you don't understand how to get to those particular place you want to go to, or you just know a shortcut. So it is easier to know the process before knowing the shortcuts. So if I click on this, it is going to display, this is my File Explorer. So from the word File Explorer, you want to explore files, different kinds of files in your computer. You want to explore it. You want to create, you want to rename, you want to do a lot of things. That's what it means to explore any kinds of file. I hope we get that. So let's say we want to create a file. Let's see how to create a file. So we're going to create a file. We can right click and we can create a file. So you right click, it displays these tabs. So you see where it says new, you can create a folder, you can create a test document, you can create a Word document, you can create access, you can create any kinds of document, Excel worksheet, you can create a lot of documents. So for the purpose of these, we're going to create a test document. So let us call that test document learning test. So once you type, then you click enter. So now we have created this document. Let us create a folder as well. So we'll right click on the page. On the desktop, we go to new, then we click folder. So let us call this folder learning folder. Then you click enter. So now we have learning for we have just created a folder and we have just created a test document. So let us rename. Okay, before we rename, let us move. So another way you can move a test document into a folder. So if I grab this with my mouse, I'm holding down my left button of my mouse and I drag it. So it says move to learning folder. So you can move in this way. You can also move by right clicking. So we talked about the mouse, it has the left and right button. So if I right click on that particular test document, there are options to move as well. So I can come to show more options. Then it says I want to rename. So if I want to rename that particular document, I can rename it. I can delete it. I can copy it. So when you copy, that document will still remain in that directory. So you are creating another copy somewhere. So you can copy and paste it. You can decide to just move it from this particular directory to another directory. You can move from the desktop to a certain folder in the desktop or some other locations. So for the purpose of this, we are going to rename this. So let us rename. So let us call this renamed test document. Then we'll click enter. If you see, okay, now this is weird. I just renamed and it disappeared, but it's in this computer. I am going to go to my search and let me search for renamed. So I just renamed that particular document and it disappeared. So now I do not know where it has gone to in my computer. So I'm going to search for it. So when I type renamed test, I've not even finished typing, but it has showed me the document. So it is somewhere in the computer and it's showing me the date that this change was made. So it means I am looking for this particular document. So I'm going to click on this document. So it is not showing here because when I renamed it, it left this particular monitor and moved to another monitor because I have more than one monitor that is currently on. And the monitor I am displaying on this screen, it's not my primary monitor. So that is why you could not see it. So one way you can search for document is just to go to your search on the task bar, click on the search, type whatever you want to search, and it's going to find it out for you. Okay, so now we know that we have it here. So I have this here, so I'm just going to, so let us, excuse me, so let us move this to, or let us save it in this learning folder. So I am going to move this test document and save it inside this folder that I've just created. So I will click on save as. Then I'm going to go to my desktop. So because I frequently use this computer, most times I like to save in my desktop before I organize to wherever I want to organize it. So it took me to my default. which is my desktop. So in that desktop, you'll see that among the folders I have, this one I just created on the 4th of August at 11:53 a.m. So I will double click to open this particular folder because this is where I want to save the document. So now whatever I save now will be inside this folder. So once I hit save, it has saved in this folder. So how do I confirm that I have moved or I have saved that document in this folder? If I come to this folder, I double click on it, voila, I have the document saved. So let us delete this document from this folder. How do you delete? You can just click once. If you go to your keyboard, you see where it says delete. There's a key that says delete. If you hit that, it's going to delete it. So I've just deleted. You know, from our display, there's what we call the recycle bin in the desktop where temporary files that are deleted go to. So I am going to open my recycle bin to confirm that what I just deleted is not permanently deleted. So I go to my recycle bin. So I just searched for recycle bin and let us find. So among other things that I've deleted that are in my recycle bin, so look at it. I just deleted this test. The time, the date that I deleted it is showing. So I can recover this. I can restore it. So in the computer language, we say we undo it. So what we have done, we're undoing it. It means we're reversing our action. So because I did not permanently delete the file, that is why I could recover it. So if I had permanently deleted the file, I cannot recover it. It's gone, it's gone. So if I click on restore, it leaves the recycle bin. So if I close this, you see that it has been restored back to the folder where it was initially saved. So that is how you can rename, you can move, you can delete, then you can also restore a file that is temporarily deleted. Please let us take note of that, temporarily deleted. So yes, that is all about the File Explorer. It is you exploring the file, what you can do with your file, how to save. So there are also other ways to save. We are going to look into those in the future, but just know the basics. This is the basics. So once you understand this, then you can go deeper in knowing more about the File Explorer. You can do a lot more with the File Explorer. So that is that about so I'm just going to change my production right now. So we will go back to so now we know how to rename, how to move, how to save, how to delete, how to recover documents. We will look about, so it's still about the File Explorer in Windows, which we have basically just talked about. So I'm going to skip this. So this is another way you can create a folder apart from right clicking on the desktop. So you can click on the Explorer. If you see my cursor, if you click on this, it brings you to this page where it says home, file, view, share. So it's a new folder. If you click on this, it's going to open a new folder. Then you can rename by right clicking, putting the name that you want to call the folder. You can open the folder, you can create a file inside the folder, you can do a lot of things. Then lastly, we'll be talking about installing and uninstalling on our computer. So by this, let's say you want to install the VLC media. Most of us, we use this to watch movies, to play music. So if you have downloaded the app, so you can download the app. I'm not going to download the app for the purpose of this lecture. When you download the app, it's going to download, then it says open. When you click on open or run, then it will take you through the installation process. Then you follow through with the installation, you save in the particular directory you want to save. Then you have the media running in your computer. If you want to also uninstall, you can also uninstall it. So let's say we want to uninstall a program. I will just click on my control panel, which is like my settings for installation. Then you see where it says program, it says uninstall a program. So any program that I want to uninstall right now, so the list of programs that are currently running in your computer will be displayed here. And it is also best practice for you to also occasionally come to your programs that are running in your computer. There may be programs that are running that you are not aware of. So when you come to your computer, then you go through what is not, and you see what is not supposed to be here is here. What do? You quickly uninstall it because it may be a shadow program somewhere. It may be a spyware. It may be some phishing things going on in your background that you don't know. Somebody having access to your computer already installed an application that is exposing you. So best practice, occasionally come here, take a look at the programs that are installed in your computer. So if you see anything that raises a flag, what you just do is you just click once, then this particular uninstall button appears. Immediately uninstall the program. So that is that about uninstalling a program. So if you want to install, you have to download the program, then you install the program. I'm not going to do that in my computer for the purpose of this lecture. So, but this is what is going to pop up. So let's say you downloaded the program and you click run, it's going to show something like this. It will ask you, do you want to install this application? It may have app boxes like this tick. After installation, do you want to create a shortcut? Do you want the program to run immediately on startup? If you check these, it will go through with the installation, and every time you turn on your computer, this particular application will pop up because that is the command you give to it when you were installing it. So we also look about common practice with troubleshooting. Currently, I'm exposed in the position of IT. I troubleshoot every day. So these are common methodologies in troubleshooting. Let's say you're having a problem with your computer. So you have to first identify what the problem is. In my exposure right now, I receive random calls every day. I have this problem. So the first thing is identifying the problem. What is the problem? Is this problem unique to the user? Is this problem unique to the machine? if you try the same thing in another machine, what happens? Does this problem persist? So if you are able to isolate the problem, then you can troubleshoot the problem. So if you do not follow these best practices, you may end up struggling to troubleshoot. You end up spending more time troubleshooting. So if you identify the problem, you are able to isolate the problem to its uniqueness. Is it with the user? Is it a company-wide issue? Because if it's a company-wide issue, you can't troubleshoot and solve the problem. So something is happening somewhere. So the necessary department will have to be alerted to say, okay, there's this application company-wide is having an issue. Then the engineering team can quickly jump into or jump ahead of the problem. So if, let's say it's a user issue, a user is unable to log in to their computer. So it's either the password is not correct. Let's say I turn on my computer, I'm trying to log in, but I cannot log in. I put in my password, it's not allowing me to log in. So it means my password is having issue. It's either something is wrong with my password, or so what do I do first? I quickly check my caps button and see if my caps button is on. Maybe my caps button is on, and in the mode I open the computer, I oversetted the signal that says, oh, your caps button is on. So instead of typing, I'm typing in the wrong capital letters, in the wrong letters, right? So I'm typing the right letter, the right password, but the format of the password is wrong. So my computer is telling me, hey, you are giving me the wrong password. I cannot open the system because the computer does not know if it is me. It may be somebody else who is trying to open my computer, and the computer has been instructed, no, don't open the computer unless you have this password. So that is what happens with. So you have to take a chill pill. See that some things are the way they should be. So if it's a password and you see that the caps lock is on, then you quickly turn it off, depending on what your password is, right? So if it's a login issue, you have to look at the password. Do you have to take more actions? Otherwise, you try again. So like, for example, your caps is on. So if you have to turn it off, that's an action. You have to turn that off. So you have taken an action to turn off the caps. Then you lock it. Then you log into your system. So if it's not a user issue, it's a browser issue, you also have to be very sure. So first thing first is to isolate the problem. Is this a particular browser issue? Is this issue affecting other browsers? So let's say you're having the issue with Mozilla Firefox. You have to try with Google Chrome. You have to try with Edge. You have to try with other browsers. You have to be sure that it is unique to this browser before you can say, oh, this is definitely a browser issue. But if it's working with other browsers, then it may be a settings in your engine that is preventing this browser to work. Then you go to another computer, you put in the same browser and it's working. So it has to be something with your computer. Then now you have isolated the problem. Then you know where to focus your energy on. So that's troubleshooting. I can talk about this from now till the next day. There is no particular end to troubleshooting. Issues would come up, but these are just the basic troubleshooting methodology. If it's a user issue, then you check the browser. If it's not a browser issue, then you go to the platform. Is it a platform? If it's not a platform issue, you go to settings. If it's not a settings, so the more you keep diagnosing, the more you go deeper. So it depends on your knowledge too. and it also helps you to broaden your knowledge on that particular subject. I did not intend to spend this much time, but I believe I've touched most of the basic things, and I hope you have gained one or two things. Please follow this channel if you find this content interesting, if you find it educative. Please follow this content, follow this page. Please support this page with your like, and please, I want your feedback. Leave a comment. There is no negative comment, there is no positive comment. It is going to help me to improve on the kind of content I am giving out. I really want to get your feedback, and I want to do better with your feedback. I really appreciate your time, and I hope to see you in module 3. We're just getting started, and I believe it is interesting. I hope you've enjoyed it so far, and you will keep enjoying it. You keep supporting this page. Please send your like, send your comment. Please share to other audiences that you believe would benefit from this. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for taking a whole 42 minutes to listen to this, to learn from this. And please do not fail to leave a comment. I am waiting on your feedback. Thank you very much.